And showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the ChannelPro 5-Minute Roundup. A look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I am executive editor of the ChannelPro Network. I am also a co-host of this program. I am joined this and every week by your other co-host, Eric Simpson, a business transformation and improvement consultant for MSPs and other IT providers. Eric, how you doing?
Doing well, Rich. Doing well this week. Wondering what we're going to do about Halloween this year. I don't think we're going to be doing much of anything.
Yeah, the trick-or-treating will be virtual, but at least in my case, the candy will be real.
Well, the candy will be real and in my belly, not for anybody that comes to the door. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Now, this is the year actually to fill a bowl with candy and just eat it yourself.
Yes, yes. And I've been partaking this week a little bit here and there, if you must know.
Yeah. Well, it's good to get in practice. Yeah, you can't start too early. So, yeah, no, it's a good plan. Well, let's dive into our story of the week here. It comes to us from SkyKick. This is one way to think of this is as an early entry in what I think is going to be a red hot market as we look ahead to the next 12 months. And it's a cloud management product. In fact, they call it SkyKick Cloud Manager. It is designed to help MSPs manage the complete series of cloud software as a service and infrastructure as a service solutions that they're offering to their customers. And it really comes right at an enormous problem that a lot of MSPs are dealing with right now. They're selling Microsoft 365, Dropbox, Salesforce, Slack, you name it. They're using a whole series of different cloud applications, each one of which comes with its own administration interface. Those administration tools quite often aren't very good at bulk anything. So if you want to do something that involves, 40 or 50 users, you may have to do it manually over and over again, or get somebody to write up a script to automate that process. But most MSPs don't have a ton of people who can do that. There's, one person, and that person is up to their eyeballs in work right now trying to keep up with that. So along comes SkyKick with a product that is designed to pull together all the different cloud solutions that you offer to your customers. The product comes with about 400 pre-coded automations that you can apply against those systems, as well as a low-code PowerShell development environment where you can create new automations. And then you can, once you've done that, you can turn those custom-coded automations into what SkyKick calls apps. You can essentially publish those automations. Any help desk technician, they don't need to have any particular skills or expertise. They can just now run those automations the same way they run the 400 that came with the system. And so this is a way to dramatically reduce the amount of time and effort that you're putting into the cloud management, to centralize that process, obviously streamline your productivity. There's some security functionality and so on that's very interesting in here. And then I'll just highlight one other aspect of the system that I think is worth calling attention to, which is that the low-code scripting environment I was talking about is a PowerShell environment. But the folks at SkyKick are well aware that a lot of the cloud tools out there in use, widely in use, don't support PowerShell. You might be required to do or use Python or JavaScript or some other scripting environment to automate one of these other platforms. Well, the SkyKick Cloud Manager tool can, in essence, translate your PowerShell scripting into those other languages. So there's a finite set of third-party cloud systems that the product can manage right now. That list is expanding. If one of those platforms doesn't support PowerShell, it in essence does for you now. All you need to have basically are the PowerShell skills, and they don't even have to be that sophisticated, because again, it's a low-code environment and there's a lot of pre-written stuff included with that. So it's a pretty interesting tool for a problem that I think a lot of different MSPs are dealing with right now. And as I hinted at the beginning of this, Eric, we're hearing about products like this from companies like Augment, which is a brand new vendor, Better Cloud, others. I think there are going to be a ton of cloud management products reaching market within the next 12 months. And given the scale of the need for that kind of system, I think this is going to be a big market in the next 12 months and beyond. This is the next RMM.
we keep seeing more and more development in this direction, Rich. And I've got to say, this news blows me away. I mean, this is powerful. This is, you know, I thought of two different things, right? The first thing I thought of was, holy cow, we don't trust our, entry-level technicians with anything beyond just basic stuff. Now we can create these apps to manage complex functions and systems and things like that, knowing that the app is created properly, and just give them the ability to run those apps. So we can certainly scale much more broadly with lower level, technical resources, which means a lot to, small and medium IT providers. The second thing I thought was, remember in Star Trek, they had the universal translator? I liken that PowerShell, Gizmo, widget, magic, pixie dust, where you just code in PowerShell and then it translates into all the other languages. That is a game changer. So, color me impressed.
They told me they've been working on this product for years, and I'm sure that piece of it is a big reason why. The two co-founders and co-CEOs of that company are Microsoft veterans. And, Microsoft is all about hiding complexity from the user. I imagine there is a ton of complexity that is being hidden from the user on that functionality, and it took a long time, I'm sure, to make it all work.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a ton of complexity behind the scenes going on. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, and you're right, Rich. The more that we move toward the cloud, the more the focus becomes on how to manage this stuff. And I think these early adopters that are, positioning themselves now are going to have a large share of the market as we move forward. I mean, what is that Ricky Bobby comment? Is if you're not first, you're last. So, they're positioning themselves for, what the future holds for all of us. And hint, channel pros, if you're not tracking what these vendors are doing and what they're building, because you're still stuck in your current business model, pay attention, right? This is where we're going. So, start moving in that direction too, and you'll serve your customers and yourselves a lot better.
We will do our darndest here at ChannelPro to keep you informed about these products as they come up, because, like I said, there are several out there already, and we're going to be seeing more arrive over the months ahead. So let's dive into your tip of the week, Eric. And a few weeks back, you were kind of talking about the importance of taking time off, not feeling guilty about it, and I thought, that's good advice for me as well as our audience. I think this week's tip of the week might be good advice for me as well as our audience as well.
Well, thanks, Rich. Here to help. So the tip of the week this week really is, channel pros, get out of your own damn way and don't be the bottleneck in your business role or your business's growth in general by keeping things to yourself. Learn how to delegate. And again, one of these ripped from, real life tips of the week. So I'm working with a client today that is, transitioning, a partner that's transitioning, to becoming, a more strategic leader for their team, and understanding that, yes, they need to start delegating and giving their team the objective of what they want to have happen, and don't give them the answers. Don't give your team the answers. You know the answer, right? But how are they ever going to learn to be self-sufficient and be more valuable to the organization if they always just keep running to you for the answer? So delegate as much as possible, push people outside of their comfort zones. Your job is to replace yourself. Don't forget, I did a session, during a virtual conference today that was all about valuation and what buyers are looking for in organizations and to acquire. And one of the things is they don't want to buy a job for themselves, a new owner, or buy an organization where the existing owner is so critical to the organization that they can't leave. So, if you tend to be like I used to be many years ago and try to, not trust people, I don't really want to give this to Bob because, he's just going to mess it up. I better keep that to myself. But your list will never end. If you keep that, let Bob have it. Give Bob the objective, give him resources to go figure out how to do it. Have Bob report back to you, hey, before you go and execute, tell me what the plan is. How are you going to attack this? Give him guidance. Don't give him the answers. Hey, have you thought about this? What about this? What about this? Have Bob come up with the right solution, right? It's Bob's baby now. He's going to own it, and he's going to execute and be proud to do it. And if he fails, let him fail fast and recover. But that's what it takes to get you out of being so critical to every little minute detail that just becomes noise in the whirlwind of distractions for you that keeps you from being a strategic part of the organization and growing your business. So don't be the bottleneck. Learn how to delegate.
And in my own case, honestly, the issue isn't a trust issue. My problem is that some small thing will come up and I'll think to myself, so-and-so could do this, but I'll just get it done. They're busy. I'll just get it done. And it's not a wise way to approach this kind of situation. And the other thing that I will say, and you made this point, and I think it's a really critical one, is just that one of the things you have to learn when you start managing people is to allow those people to do the job in a way that might be different than the way you would do it, to kind of let go, let Bob figure it out, let Bob do it. Bob might not solve the problem the way you would, but if it's a solution and it works, that's fine. But it can be an adjustment, to get used to it. Well, this is not what I would have done. That's okay.
You're right. And you have to be okay with that. As long as, nothing burns down and you don't, lose a client, yes, understand that is the diverse nature of you hiring other people to come and help build the business, right? Because they're going to come with different perspectives and they're not going to do things the way you would. How can you expect them to do something the way you would do it? They don't have your experience and training or all the failures that have brought you to where you are now, but that's okay. I'll take an 80% solution every time over trying to hold on to something because I think I can make it 90%. That doesn't work.
All right. Well, that leaves us time for just one more story this week. It comes to us from the great white north, Canada. Welcome to the world, Val des Sources, Quebec. Now, this is an existing town with a new name. Why does this town have a new name? Well, it helps to know what the old name was, Asbestos. Asbestos, Quebec, decided maybe a few decades after asbestos stopped being something that people were proud of being associated with, it could be time for a new name. And I should say, this sounds to me, granted, I did not grow up in a town famous for mining asbestos, but it sounds a little like a no-brainer to me. It was not a no-brainer in Asbestos, the town of Asbestos. They put this to a vote, and 51.5% decided to adopt the new name. It was a bit of a close issue there, but they're moving on past the asbestos thing and legacy, Eric.
And immediately I can assume that, their medical premiums dropped dramatically. Just by a name change.
It was probably pretty difficult to get a policy before. Folks, that is all the time we've got this week on the 5-Minute Roundup. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back again with another episode next week. If you like the show, you want to take a look at some past episodes you missed, you want to know about the new episodes when they become available, please go to the ChannelPro Network channel on YouTube and subscribe there. Make sure you click that little bell icon if you want to get a notification when the new episode goes up. You want to read more about that solution from SkyKick and everything else going on in the industry, business growth advice for your company, visit channelpronetwork.com every day because we have got terrific new content going up for you there on a daily basis. To learn more about Eric and the work that he does with his clients, you should go to ericksimpson.com. That is ERICK Simpson.com. So once again, we're going to be back in a week with another episode for you. Until then, folks, please enjoy the rest of your week. Eric and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.